guys, it's Sam, and today I'm going to talk about my most anticipated releases for the winter of 2015-2016. There's actually a lot that I have to talk about. I didn't realize how many books were coming out at the beginning of the year. I thought that a lot of my most anticipated releases were coming out in the spring. I was wrong. First, only, and most obvious choice for December is Frozen Tides by Morgan Rose. This is the fourth book in the Fallen Kingdom series. It's going to be 6 books total. As you can see, I already have it in my hands, and I am so happy. Penguin sent me this for review after I basically begged for it. I wanted it so bad. I love it, and I am so happy to be reading this. I'm about halfway through right now, and for those of you that don't know, Fallen Kingdom is one of my favorite series. I have a spoiler-free review of the first 3 books in the series if you guys are interested in checking that out, but I basically talk about this series all the time on my channel, so you guys should know what it is by now. This book is released on December 15th. The next set of books are all January releases. The first book is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, which comes out on January 5th. This book has had a ton of buzz about it. I've been hearing about this ever since BEA when the arcs were first released. This is the first book in a new series that is about time travel. I don't know a ton about it because I'm keeping myself fairly spoiler-free for the synopsis, but I know that there are pirates involved. I believe from back in time that the main character is a girl who, I think she plays a violin or something, and she somehow gets transported back in time to this kind of pirate era. Time travel and pirates are 2 of my buzzwords. If those are included together, it's a guaranteed auto buy for me. I don't care what this book is about besides that. That is all I need to know, and I'm going to be picking it up. The next book is Fallen Land by Taylor Brown. This is a historical fiction, and it takes place during the last year of the Civil War, and there are these 2 orphans who I think are already a couple when the book starts. If not, they, I'm sure, become a couple because it seems like it's very kind of focused on their relationship, but they are horse thieves who are outrunning a band of dangerous marauders, and they have this kind of relationship that is around like the horses and nature and stuff like that, and they're basically trying to survive during a very dangerous time. Obviously, the last year of the Civil War was not a pleasant time to be in the United States because everyone was dying pretty much. So I love historical fiction. I don't read a ton of historical fiction that takes place during the Civil War. I read a lot of World War II kind of historical fiction, so I'm really interested to see what this one is about. This is a debut author, and I want to read more debut authors. The cover is beautiful, and it sounds like the perfect winter read for me. This one comes out on January 12th. The last release for January is The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. This sounds like it might be kind of a magical realism story. It's about a girl who is about to graduate and leave her small hometown, and she starts seeing things that aren't really there, not in like a scary way, but things just kind of start changing. Like, her hometown looks like how it looked before it was kind of founded and stuff, and it looks like it's like deserted. All these kinds of things are happening, and all of a sudden she gets this kind of vision or like prophecy or something that says that she has 3 months to save him. Him ends up being the star football player that she doesn't have any kind of, I don't think, relationship with, but it basically sounds like, if any of you guys are fans of Heroes, where the one big line in season 1 was save the cheerleader, save the world. It is reminding me of that a lot. The synopsis says Friday Night Lights mixed with Time Traveler's Wife. I enjoy both of those, but I don't want to go by synopsises that say that, but if you are interested in that kind of like comparison, that's what the synopsis says. But it sounds like Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, and I am all for that. This one comes out January 26th. The rest of these books are all released in February, and holy crap, I did not realize the insane amount of books that are coming out in February. I thought that a lot of my releases were going to come out in like March and April. No. Majority of them are February. All of them I want to pre-order. I'm going to have to restrain myself. I don't know what to do because all of these sound amazing. Decisions. The first book is Assassin's Heart by Sarah Ayres. This is about a city where there are a bunch of very powerful assassin guild type families that are all rivals, and it is mainly focusing on 2 characters from rival assassin families, and they had a relationship, but it went kind of sour, it sounds like, and the girl believes that the boy betrayed her, and so his family came and killed the majority of her family. So it's a star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet meets criminal families. Again, a lot of buzzwords for me. You have criminal families and like the Romeo and Juliet thing with assassins. As soon as I heard Assassin's Heart, I pretty much added this book to my TBR without even knowing what the synopsis was about because it just had assassins in it. That's how easy you can hook me. This book comes out on February 2nd. The next release is Salt to Sea by Ruta Sepetys. This takes place near the end of World War II in East Prussia and is following 3 refugees who are trying to trek to freedom. It is a very brief synopsis, but I've heard beautiful things about Rita Sepetys. She wrote Between Shades of Grey, which I have yet to read. It's on my shelf. I plan on reading it actually before this book comes out. But I've heard beautiful things about her historical fiction, and I need to pick this up. I love, like I said earlier, I love World War II historical fiction, and she really tends to focus on these stories that we don't tend to see a ton of, with like different populations that don't tend to be focused on a ton in historical fiction, so I will be needing to pick this up. This book is also released on February 2nd. The next release is Revenge and the Wild by Michelle Modesto. First off, can we take a look at this cover, because it is breathtaking, one of my favorite covers I've seen in a very, very long time. This takes place in a kind of alternate historical fiction area with bandits and Wild West and steampunk all combined. If you read the synopsis, it basically sounds like a steampunk Wild West. And that is all that I need to know. Again, all of these releases for winter are really speaking to my soul and my aesthetic and everything that I want. So the cover, combined with these steampunk elements, combined with the whole synopsis and like Western and this badass girl and inventors, and it's just everything that I want in my life. This one also is released on February 2nd, so February 2nd is going to be a big day for me. The next book is Black Hearts by Nicole Casterman, and this is a Blackbeard origin story retelling. Okay? I don't need to say anything else. Again, like I said, winter is going to kill me. This whole season is going to kill me because all of these books are speaking to a deep part of my soul. All I've wanted for a very long time is a Blackbeard origin story with lots of angst and tragedy, and this is exactly what this is going to be. I am so excited. This one is released on February 9th. We then have Beautiful Broken Things by Sarah Bernard. This is a kind of change of pace from all the other books I've been talking about. It is a contemporary story, and it's about 2 best friends. One of them is the more confident, outgoing girl, and the other one is kind of described as trouble. She's on more of a downward spiral, and this is the story of their friendship and their downward spiral, and kind of it sounds like toxic friendships and toxic relationships and looking at that, and it sounds like it's going to be tragic but also very deep and very moving. And again, it's one of those cover things where I saw the cover and I knew that I wanted to get it, but then I read the synopsis and that sunk me even more. So I'm really interested to see if this one lives up to my expectations. This one was released on February 11th. The next release has been talked about for a very long time now, and that is Riders by Veronica Rossi. Veronica Rossi is the author of Under the Never Sky, which was a trilogy that I really loved when I read last year. This is about our main character Gideon, who is an army ranger, and he is in an accident that ends up killing him. But he wakes up from that accident and discovers that he has been transformed into War, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I have never heard a synopsis like that at all, and if it surrounds kind of mythology and that kind of thing, I am going to be all for it. This is the first book in a new trilogy, and I'm hoping it's amazing because I have been hearing about this book since it was even announced that it had a title or anything, so this one hopefully will live up to my expectations as well. It is released on February 16th. The next book is The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Corey. This is a Aladdin retelling, and it is where the genie is a girl and she ends up falling in love with Aladdin, and I think Aladdin probably falls in love with her as well, but it is a different twist on the Aladdin story. Anytime we have a retelling, I have to have it. Aladdin is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's probably one of my top 3 Disney movies and probably one of my favorite movies of all time, probably in the top 5 or so. I am obsessed. So when you have an Aladdin retelling, gotta have it. Like I said, all these releases are ticking all of my boxes. This one is released on February 23rd. And the last release I'm looking forward to this season is The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine. And this is a Snow White retelling. Again, I cannot get enough retellings. If you tell me that this book is a retelling of some kind, I'm probably going to want to buy it. Doesn't really matter. But if it's a classic fairy tale retelling, that's going to amp up my desire to buy it even more. CJ Redwine wrote the Defiance trilogy, which I did not read, but this is the first book in a new trilogy that again is Snow White based. I need to have it. Check out that cover. It is stunning. This one is also released on February 23rd. So that is it for all of my anticipated winter releases. I don't know what I'm going to do. There are so many, and I want all of them. They all speak to me on a deep personal level and to my soul. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to buy all of them, and it's going to hurt me. So comment down below and let me know some of your most anticipated releases, but I'm nervous to even say that because I can't add any more to this list. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!